Welcome to Going Nowhere podcast. My name is Mark,
I'm Johnny.
And Sheldon.
and today we are going to start off by talking about Deadpool. Deadpool comes out on, well, not Valentine's Day, but around that.
Weekend of.
Yeah.
Weekend of, yes.
February 12th.
It's a
sounds right.
great romantic date for a girl who has
It's a romantic comedy, right?
absolutely no idea about comic books. Take her to Deadpool.
Well, it's a movie called Deadpool, so that doesn't scream
But
romance. But they did release that poster that showed Ryan Reynolds with his girlfriend and advertised it as a great Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's a romantic comedy.
yeah, and it's like it's Ryan Reynolds before
He actually turns into
comes
Deadpool.
into Deadpool.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
There's some romance
Girls who
there.
are like, ooh, that looks romantic. Yeah, why not? The media wouldn't lie to us.
The marketing campaign for the Deadpool movie has been just amazing.
Phenomenal. Probably better than the movie itself.
Yeah,
Prepared to be
that's
disappointed.
that's my so far the reviews they had for that screening that they did, where they sent a whole bunch of YouTube personalities to go see clips, what they thought were clips of the movie, and it ended up just being the entire movie.
Unfinished, but
yeah.
Right.
enough of it to get the gist. It's surprising. You send people who really, really like something to a special showing where they get to see something for free and they get to see the whole thing that isn't a trailer and they like it. That's weird.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine that. That doesn't sound biased at all. Holy shit.
As they were
When you
leaving,
put
just
it
be
like
like,
that.
leave a good review, leave a good review.
Yeah. Thanks for
Leave a
coming.
good
Here's
review.
your 20. Just on your way out.
just bribing.
And here's Ryan Reynolds
Suck your
ready
cock.
to suck your dick.
No, while you're watching.
Yeah.
Just,
He just
excuse me through the aisle.
just
Oh, hey there.
just scooting through aisles, talking dick.
as Deadpool, so he can break the fourth wall.
So it's okay.
It's okay. Ryan Reynolds isn't doing this.
It's Deadpool.
Yeah.
Ryan
I'm really stoked for the movie.
Well, it got a hard R from what I heard.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to cut out a lot of stuff, which I'm excited for the director's cut already.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll cut a lot of the.
I wonder if you see
The racy
Deadpool's
jokes.
radiated dick,
Why would you wonder that?
because you see that in the comics.
That doesn't mean it's something I want to.
And you see it in
But
Watchmen.
it-
There's a
you
place
might
for
see
dick
it.
in film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Penises are coming back. Revival 2016.
Oh
We're bringing
no.
it back. Oh.
Were they ever in film before?
No.
Well, not legitimate film.
I blame Bruno.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, the puppet dick.
Don't
Yeah, no, the advertising is great. It's pretty self-aware. Did you see the, it was like an emoji skull, and then poo,
Yeah.
and then just an L?
Deadpool L. And it was on a billboard or some
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it doesn't say the title of the movie, just a skull,
Deadpool
poo,
L.
and an L.
That's great.
And they did the awareness for like testicular cancer
Cancer.
stuff, which was hilarious.
Did you see him talking about how shitty Wolverine Origins was?
No, I didn't.
It's just him like chilling. He's like, "Hi, I'm Deadpool," and unfortunately, the last time you saw me was kind of awkward, and I was kind of really shitty. And you know, the worst thing about that was this gentleman from Australia, and he's obviously talking about Hugh
Yeah,
Jackman, and it just makes fun of it, and it's like we're still going to celebrate Australia Day very soon, but my God, control yourselves.
Well, Wolverine
you
will
can
be
tell.
in that movie.
You can tell there'll be a lot of that in the movie.
Wolverine's in it.
Making
I
fun
have
of
a feeling
Green
that-
Lantern
So?
as well.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how they're going to relate it to their only other property being X-Men. Since I know they have Colossus in it, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Well, from what I hear, like, obviously they're going to be doing a whole bunch of pop culture. I'm just kind of curious to see how they break the fourth wall, because you don't really see that in any of the trailers they showed, right? Except for when he's like, well, he's talking about...
He doesn't talk to the audience, but he
yeah.
makes comments that don't make sense in the context of the
he
movie.
talks to the audience in the because like they have the 2-minute not teaser thing, but like the thing that leaked where they were trying to demo it,
Yeah.
and like that starts off with him. Being
Oh, he's like, oh,
"What?"
hi. You're
You're
Yeah,
probably
wondering
wondering
why I wear a red suit.
Yeah.
so they can't see.
Yeah,
So
this
I
guy's
could-
wearing the brown pants. He's got the right idea.
And
Yeah.
they had that line in the trailer, but it was just him talking to the bad guys.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if that's how that movie started, with that,
with
like
him just introducing
just
himself.
introducing himself.
Yeah,
Like,
because that's how every
That's the
comic
way
of
to go.
his starts, right?
Yeah.
It's just like bubbles of
Well,
him talking.
you kind of notice in the trailer there's the part where he said, "We got to take this to tell this story right. We got to take it back to whatever when I can fit this ass before I fit this ass in spandex."
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably start with something like that.
Yeah, well, it's almost certainly gonna start with an action scene and him being like, "I'm fucking Deadpool. Watch all these things die because I'm fucking Deadpool."
And then it'll go back.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for the hard R. There was this one movie critic who showed her son the Green Band trailer for it, and her son's like, I think he's 8 or around there, like really young, and she like got all of his hopes and dreams like brought up to go see Deadpool, but she's now creating a petition online for it to be a PG-13 version of it.
Well, tell her that what she can do is when the movie comes out on Blu-ray or DVD, get her onto her computer and edit all the shit she doesn't want her kids seeing out of it, and fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. One, you're a shitty mother for bringing your kids' hopes and dreams and making you feel like a hero.
When you know it's going to be almost impossible.
Two,
to
I
actually do
can't
anything
wait
about it.
to see the look on that kid's face. Well, I wish I could see the look on that kid's face when her petition fails, and then everyone in the media just laughs at her.
Well, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to change that movie
Well,
in such a way to make it PG-13?
her argument is like, well, if they can make a Green Band trailer for things, they can make a Green Band version.
No,
of
they have
movies.
to do that to try to spread it.
You
Yeah.
can make a Green Band
But then
trailer.
you're gonna have like what is she expecting? Like that every fucking movie now does that to appeal to fucking grow up and then go see it, or just go see it. Sneak in.
As an 8-year-old.
Don't pay that fucking ticket. They'll fucking send you home.
When I was 14 through 17, whatever age, we went to see a movie. We wanted to see a fucking R-rated movie. Yeah, you don't buy tickets for the R-rated movie. You buy tickets for the PG movie or
Yeah,
the E movie.
I remember I bought a Pixar movie ticket and then I went and saw Sin City. when
Like,
it
I'm
came
not
out.
actually going in to see Chipwreck.
No one goes to see that.
Don't ever fucking reference Alvin and the Chipmunks in this house again, or I will cut you.
What about the old cartoon?
I will murder you.
Do
It
it.
used to be okay.
No one says that. No one thinks that.
It's because of what the movies did.
Yeah.
Like Garfield. Look what happened to him. Oh, come on.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. Zombieland. What are the movies you regret the most? Just Garfield.
That's pretty terrible.
Yeah, no, it's a risk though for them to go with the R rating.
Well, you're cutting out a lot of your fan base simply by putting it R. You're saying that everyone under the age of 18 is not allowed to be in that movie. That's why a lot of movies, like especially horror movies, are now 14A.
Yeah.
As opposed
and PG-13. They really stretch for that PG-13 rating.
And that's why they didn't think Deadpool was gonna fly, so then they made the footage, and then that got leaked, and then with the response,
That's what we want to see.
yeah.
And that I'm really glad that Ryan Reynolds actually gives a shit about the character.
Yeah.
And I hope he feels really, really bad about what he did in Wolverine Origins.
I'm pretty sure he does.
I think there's more and more of a demographic for this sort of thing. I bet they had a lot of trouble with stuff like The Punisher not
At the
making
time.
as much in theaters.
Well, to be fair, the Punisher Warzone was horseshit.
It was probably poorly
Yeah,
marketed.
that was.
It was a really bad movie. I liked the Punisher himself, but I hated their artistic choices. I felt it was just
Just so
over the
gory.
top and stupid. When you like punch through a guy's face and you see like Sin City effects of like
Yeah.
splatter, and you're just dumb.
Over stylized gore for absolutely fucking no reason.
And like shooting someone with a rocket launcher from like point blank just to blow them up.
That sounds awesome.
It sounds awesome, but it's really shitty. It's really poorly done.
I haven't seen Warzone, just saw the first one.
Versus the first Punisher, which I think
the
didn't
first
go
Punisher
anywhere.
wasn't rated R.
It was 14A, I think. There's
Yeah.
nothing
Oh,
in
okay.
there that could be rated R that I think of.
No.
Like
There's no
most
like sex scene. Oh, there's nudity.
no, it's nude.
The
Most
Punisher.
The most intense
I'm
scene
gonna punish
is
you.
in that movie is when the guy gets his piercings ripped out. That's
yeah,
like the worst
that's pretty much
scene.
it. And you don't see it because they cut out.
They cut out. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way.
That's just one of those cringe moments.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, you know what's happening off screen. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, so well, Warzone was a response to the lack of gore in the first one, right?
So what were like the R-rated movies that they tried? Was Watchmen R-rated?
Watchmen was
It must have been.
heavily
Blue Dicks?
R-rated.
Because of the dicks, blue dicks, and
Blue
yeah,
Dicks.
fucking
Again, bringing it back, 2016.
And they had some. Yeah, they did have some pretty.
Blade was the last Marvel movie I can think of that was R-rated.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
but Marvel themselves, I don't think would ever really want to put out an R-rated
But
movie.
Stan Lee's in a cameo in the new Deadpool movie.
Yeah, because he helped create Deadpool.
Yeah,
He's in all. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He gets paid no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just cool to know that they're okay with that.
Who?
Stan Lee and whatnot.
Oh yeah, well he is in all of the things.
Well, I think these types of movies are at the point now where people who are adults, young adults, kind of grew up with a lot of the stuff, and it can still appeal to kids.
And with the R-rated movies nowadays, you want something different. You're tired of seeing the exact same movie that Marvel's been making for their entire new generation.
Yeah.
Because it's always your main character that has his origin story, then he goes and he has some personal crisis, and then he fights a single bad villain at the end. And that's just what they do.
It's all
over
been
and
structured
over.
the same.
Copy,
Yeah,
paste, copy, paste.
They've been unique in their own ways, but yeah, it is. The formula is getting pretty
repetitive.
Pretty
So
bad.
change it up a bit by throwing in
an R-rated movie that you can take a lot more liberties with. You're not forced to follow and to keep things super.
Kick-Ass 2? Was that R?
Kick-Ass,
I think it must have been, yeah.
Kick-Ass, both of them were R, yeah.
Okay,
but
yeah.
those are comic book movies, but in a graphic novel sort. They're not Marvel or DC, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Walking Dead by comparison.
Right.
So that's not particularly fair for mainstream comics.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of big companies threw a lot of money at The Watchmen in hopes that it would do great, and then because it bombed so much, everyone's just been afraid of rated R movies. So it's really.
Did Watchmen bomb?
I don't think it bombed, but it
didn't make its money back when it was in theaters.
Okay.
I think it's made its money back now with Blu-ray and DVD sales.
Probably international releases too.
Yeah.
Well, that's an example of a movie that I didn't get to see probably in theaters. Which I'm not sure what year that came out.
What came out at the same time as that? Because I feel like there was something else that came out really close to that, and I wanted to see that instead.
I don't know, because I was so stoked for The Watchmen, I ended up going midnight release.
Really good movie.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie, very, very close to the graphic novel. Liberties here and there, but that's because sometimes graphic novels don't convert to movies very well.
I love when Deadpool, they did the April Fool's joke about it being rated PG 13 or whatever. Did you see the interview?
Yeah. Well, I think that was one of
Mario
the first.
Lopez?
That was one of the first advertisements they ever had.
Yeah, that was the beginning of their brilliant campaign.
Where he's like, "Oh, I hear it's PG-13 and stuff like that," and then Deadpool hits him with a chair, and he's like, "Fuck you, man."
He's like, "Just kidding. Deadpool will of course be rated R."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah. And everyone was fucking stoked for that. Yeah, no, I'm really stoked for that movie.
Well, have to see how it does. I hope it does well in theaters so that we can get a sequel. Maybe they can touch on some more properties of Marvel that they could go further.
This is the biggest problem that Deadpool has going for it. It's not actually part of the Marvel Universe. It's not part of the MCU.
In what way?
In that it's owned by Fox. So
it's within the category of X-Men, but you can't reference
There's no Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Panther, Black Widow.
I wonder if they address that in the movie.
I don't know how much they can get away with Deadpool saying.
It'd be cool in the movie if he starts to say something about one of the other characters and then goes, "Oh wait, sorry, I'm not allowed to say that."
That would be fun, and I'm sure that they can take certain liberties and mess around. I just still want to see in Infinity Wars, just have a big epic battle with Thanos or some bullshit, and then just Deadpool in the background, just killing someone, and then people who the fuck is that?
It would only benefit everybody.
Everyone, because everyone wants to see those two combined, everyone wants the Fantastic Four to go back to Marvel so they can have fucking Galactus.
Well, that might happen.
Yeah, after Fantastic Four.
Well, they said that
bombed.
they won't do 2. I started watching Fantastic Four because Paige got that movie for Christmas from her
You
dad.
started to watch it?
We started watching it up until after they get back from the neutral zone.
Yeah.
And like there was absolutely no connection
Chemistry?
and chemistry between
Between
any
the
of the
four?
fucking characters.
How was Miles Teller?
That's like that's
Miles
the most
Miles
important
Teller
part.
was just like quiet and nerdy, but like, and Paige brought this up. The casting for that movie seemed off. Like there was just like why
Michael B. Jordan?
is he okay? Maybe not the black part, but
Racist.
but more along the lines of like, why is this like great actor interacting with this like actor that wouldn't be in the same movies? It just felt off. Like the casting.
That's how it was with the other Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, except that.
All
movie
the
was
actors except for
trash.
Jessica Alba.
Okay,
Oh, because Chris What's His Face wasn't famous
Evans?
yet.
there was nothing more crushing than hearing about the Silver Surfer movie and then getting super stoked for Galactus and then
Oh,
having him be a
Cloud.
fucking cloud. Because Galactus is my favorite fucking character.
I'm actually kind of glad I haven't seen that sequel.
You are missing out on Cloud. So just think of a cloud, and then that's it. That's Galactus.
Yeah. Well, they did the exact same fucking thing for Green Lantern, didn't they?
Oh, with Parallax?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, Parallax still had a face versus Galactus, which was literally a fucking cloud. You had one job, make Galactus.
I just picture like the portrayals of God, just the beams of light coming through a cloud. Hello,
Get rid of the
I
beams of
am
light.
God.
It's just a cloud. It's
Yeah.
actually like a really big cloud you can see from outer space. It's just dumb.
You know a cumulonimbus?
That.
That.
But like grayish, greenish gray thing.
Here, let me just look out the window. Whoa!
Galactus!
Galactus.
Oh my god!
No,
What
fucking awful.
trash. And like it was weird having Morpheus play Silver Surfer. I don't know, it was kind of an odd voice choice. Lawrence Fishburne, I think, was Silver Surfer.
Really?
I think so.
Maybe.
I think so.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
remember
I
it.
could be horribly mistaken, but I was just like,
I don't like Lawrence Fishburne as an actor.
I think he was okay in The Matrix sometimes, but sometimes he was distracting. I didn't know what I like.
What about in Man of Steel? As
No.
Perry
No.
White.
Just don't care.
Yeah, he wasn't a compelling character, but then no one was, except for Pa Kent. Pa Kent was my favorite in that movie.
Just the hand.
Just
The hand
don't
raise.
save me.
No,
You can
son,
easily
I
do.
know you can. I
Easily
know I
save
won't
me.
die if you help me, but
What
don't.
was I supposed
don't
to do?
do it.
Just let him die? Maybe.
You're an asshole. Fuck off. No, your son.
Maybe.
A school bus filled with children.
Let them
Just let him
die.
die.
Oh, I couldn't stand Pa Kent. When that tornado took him, I was like, "Au revoir, monsieur. Have fun on your trip to Oz, you fucker." Like, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, no.
Fuck Man of Steel. Fuck Man of Steel 2. Fuck DC.
I thought you liked Man of Steel.
I actually didn't mind Man of
The
Steel.
fight scenes are fucking
Dragon Ball
great.
Z.
The
And
fight scenes,
Dragon
the
Ball
first
Z.
time I had seen him, it was like, fucking, this is awesome.
yeah,
You could just, every punch felt
like a
powerful.
punch.
After we walked out, I'm like, Zack Snyder needs to do the fighting scenes for the
Dragon
next
Ball
Dragon
Z.
Ball Z movie.
Yeah,
I would love that. That'd
Definitely.
be amazing.
that's how it should be done.
Yeah. But I hated some parts of the story of Man of Steel. And
It's pretty.
I don't understand why
I don't
people
know.
hated Man of Steel so much. Like, that's not how Superman is. Superman wouldn't kill.
Yeah, but
Spoiler for a movie that's been out for days.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
He
He
kills
snaps
Zod.
Zod at the neck.
It's in the fucking trailer for the next movie.
Like, shit happens, YOLO, buy Zod. But he had no choice, and that was his first time as Superman, so now he has guilt.
and they also explain that, yeah, because he killed him and Zod was the only other person linking to his planet, the weight of his murder weighs so heavily on Superman that he promises never to kill again.
That makes sense.
Which makes great character development sense, but they don't. Yeah.
I don't understand why people were mad about it and, like, hated the movie just for that.
That and Superman wouldn't fight in Metropolis City. He would have taken it somewhere else. He's fucking brand new, you stupid fucks. You see his entire progression in like a matter of
He's
a week.
totally sloppy.
Flashbacks. So many fucking flashbacks.
But, like, he learns that he can fly that week, right?
Yeah.
Like
He's supposed to be sloppy and like,
he doesn't know what's going on.
and he's against Zod, who knows exactly what he's doing.
in the military. He's been trained. Sure, he's not used to all these powers, but he adapts rather quickly. And they explain that in the movie. What do you want from Superman?
I think that was a pretty interesting take on the character.
A lot of people are like, well, it's just so gritty. And I will say this: we've seen the color correction.
Yeah.
Oh,
version.
that
is
pretty
gorgeous.
bothersome.
And
That, like,
yeah.
there's someone took out all of the color like bullshit that
The
they.
Zack Snyder filter.
Yeah, they took away all of the color when Zack Snyder put it on. He put filters on it like Instagram, where it's just grays and really.
Yeah, there's no color.
And someone put the color back in that was supposed to be in it. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube. It's really
beautiful.
It's a really beautiful movie, and Superman has always been more colorful.
He's bright blue and bright red, right?
Yeah,
And Batman's dark and brooding. That's
like
fine.
yeah, and I think they referenced the Dark Knight comic book as in like Batman. You see him throughout that comic book in like in darkness and stuff like that. But when he goes out and meets Kent, it's like this like nice beautiful farm and these lush colors, and that's the contrast between them, right?
Instead, Batman v Superman is going to be
It's
all
just gonna be fucking
Dark
Gray, just
brooding
gray.
gray versus dark brooding black.
Oh, and then Wonder Woman comes in gray.
Nope, brown.
Like, yeah, even their costume design. Like,
That's-
if it had any color, you can't tell.
At least, aside from Hawkeye, the Marvel Universe is okay with their character suits. Like, they're not bad. They're reasonable.
Yeah, they do a good job
Like
of making
Hulk-
them seem more modern.
Well, like, Hulk's just wearing his pants and that's it. Like,
what else are you supposed to do?
that's ridiculous. So Iron Man's wearing a silly suit.
Yeah, I mean Scarlet Witch looked like her costume pretty much, right?
I thought
Just
Scarlet
had a
Witch
red
actually had-
jacket
Yeah,
on.
Yeah,
doesn't she normally have a costume though?
Yeah, normally she's wearing some sort of, like, spandex.
But,
But-
it makes sense in the context of her just being a normal person to start.
Yeah.
Sort of a normal person.
Yeah, I don't know if they're changing her outfit for Civil War.
They showed the Doctor Strange picture of Benedict Cumberbatch. Wasn't he wearing?
he
the suit?
looks
looks
exactly
like
Oh,
Doctor Strange.
he is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
That I'm so excited.
That
for.
would. It's too bad that can't be R. That would be interesting.
I'm sure it's probably 14.
It's gonna be
Just an R-rated
it's
horror.
probably gonna be standard PG-13
Yeah.
or something. I don't think the Avengers was 14A, was it?
PG-13. Same fucking
I don't know.
difference, right?
Yeah, that's
PG-13,
true.
14A,
It's like
same.
one age.
As long as it doesn't have dicks and gore.
And yeah, just Doctor Strange just travels through images of dicks everywhere.
Yeah, he
It's
tra-
like Superman.
Whoa!
He transfers into a dimension where it's nothing but penises.
Just dicks, Bruno dicks talking to everyone. Oh,
Hey, R.R. Martin.
no wiener, copyright. No.
Oh god, yeah, no, that looks good.
I can't wait to get to that and skip all the stuff that's leading up to that. I like what's leading up to that now. We have Civil War, which we're interested in. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
exciting. What's after Civil War?
Doctor Strange.
Is it just that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
It's just two.
Spider-Man.
When is Spider-Man? Is that after Doctor Strange now?
Yeah,
Because
next
they pushed back some of the
Black
movies.
Panther.
next
and,
year is
Captain
Thor
Marvel.
Ragnarok and what else is next year?
Apparently, I think I heard something about Hulk being in Thor Ragnarok. Oh,
Right, yeah, we were
Okay.
okay. No,
Oh, is
we
Guardians
do
2
have
next year?
okay. We
I
do
think
have to
that's
address this.
2017.
yeah.
This is so far. This is
No.
just rumors.
Better just-
But apparently, in Thor Ragnarok, Thor gets like banished or something like that, or put into another
So
dimension.
what happens is Loki and some broad kick
Hela.
Thor out
Yeah.
of Asgard because Loki at the end of the movie was impersonating
Yeah.
Odin.
Yeah.
So they send him, and he lands on this planet that is like a Colosseum planet where gladiators fight.
And he fights his way
And
up
guess
the
who
ranks.
he runs into? Who
Guess
is
who's
the
the
number
leader?
one gladiator?
The fucking Hulk.
Thor. Or
Hulk.
He runs into
Yeah, he
himself.
runs into him.
Dum dum dum.
No, he runs into Hulk.
And
So they're doing fucking
Planet
Planet Hulk in
In
Thor
Thor
Ragnarok,
Ragnarok?
which pisses me off because how the fuck did the Hulk get there?
well,
And
Hulk
then
deserves
two,
his own movie.
He
We'll-
deserves
we'll
his
see
own movie, and
for
it's that movie.
He could get his own movie.
He absolutely. They look at the schedule. He's not on there. But he, out of all of his character arcs, that's the one that needs to be a movie.
And also, if they're throwing
doesn't-
in like different genre of films and they're like taking it more in that direction,
Yes, they are.
it makes sense to do a
A
Gladiator
Gladiator
movie.
And give it to the fucking Hulk. That's
Exactly.
his thing.
I don't know.
Thor.
I'd just be glad they're incorporating it at all. Although I thought it would be more involved with Guardians of the Galaxy.
And then bringing him home.
I thought
which is
that's
what
how
would
that.
hope.
I thought that's how they
And
would
that-
tie
Yeah,
it in.
when Thor's not in Planet Hulk.
No, because he's
He
busy.
could be.
He could be. There's no reason for
Could
him
be,
not to
but
be.
I mean, like
but it's
Guardians of the
unnecessary.
Galaxy makes more sense.
Well, there's just have after Civil War, like everyone's like, oh fuck, Hulk's too dangerous. Send him off planet or something. Just capture him and get rid of him because we can't have him killing everyone.
I think they might be bringing in Red Hulk at the end of Civil War as well, because that one actor who was in the Incredible Hulk
Yes. Yeah.
is back, and that's the General Thaddeus.
Yeah.
right,
General Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he bring
the actors in
same
Civil
Yeah,
War, yeah,
yeah, he's
as
the
the
same
General.
And finally, they're bringing something back from the Hulk.
That's
Like, it's been-
interesting, right?
like completely ignoring it.
Well, after
until
they
now.
missed out on Dr. Samuel Stearns, who becomes the leader, which is the guy who got the goo on his head.
Oh, okay.
His brain got
Okay.
big, and they got rid of that. And Abomination, who just
Tim
happened-
Roth,
Tim Roth.
great actor.
What happened to the Abomination? Did Shield capture him? Or the military?
Did he die at the end of the movie? I don't remember.
No,
Yeah, I don't-
I think they captured him. I think.
Hulk won anyway.
Yeah, of course Hulk won. But Hulk, well, that movie was exactly Iron Man. It was just him controlling his things and fighting a bigger version of himself.
Yeah.
Which, no, stop that.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting if they bring Red Hulk in and then they incorporate Planet Hulk. And
I would love Planet Hulk, but as Planet Hulk, not
with
some
She-Hulk too.
well, whatever they need. As long
Why
as
not?
it's not a Thor movie, I don't think that's fair. And I know Hulk has had troubles carrying his own movies, but that's because you had Ang Lee direct one of them. What do you fucking expect?
That's why Mission Impossible 2 sucked.
Oh, that movie was trash. The rest were so good. That movie's trash. I trash that movie. Let's just watch that and trash it. Make fun.
Yeah,
Rip track it.
let's do it.
And then do
Yeah,
a Dragon
we
Ball
should
Evolution
probably
Rip
do-
track and Avatar.
Yeah,
Oh.
we could just watch
That-
movies and
That wouldn't be so
rip
much a
on
rip
them.
track as it would be me crying.
And that is hilarious.
Just me
so,
crying. You want to
Johnny,
listen to
there's
that?
nothing that brings me more pleasure in life than to hear you sob.
that's
I
weird.
thought you were gonna say my tears. So delicious.
So,
So
salty.
salty.
Your salty,
Um,
delicious tears.
But did you guys see the sneak peek to the teaser to the trailer to the movie that came up for Deadpool? No, they didn't do that.
No, they didn't do that.
They've been doing that.
Jurassic Park did that, didn't? Or Jurassic World did that?
Jurassic World, I think, did it. There's TV shows are doing that
Ant-Man
too.
did that.
Yeah,
Like, they did
Tune
the...
in
But
for this.
the Ant-Man makes sense.
Yeah, it was funnier that way. But yeah, they're doing that for a lot of movies now. Where they're just like showing a sneak peek promo of like 5 seconds that says "Stay tuned tomorrow"
for the teaser.
for the teaser, and then the teaser, just in tradition, is a teaser for the movie, but also
which
the
is
trailer.
like a minute.
Yeah,
And then you get the actual trailer.
and then you get like 3 trailers throughout the time of waiting, and then you get the movie.
Out of
And it's
all
like,
of them-
how many fucking trailers do we need?
The only one that makes sense is Ant-Man because it was a tiny
Yeah.
trailer
It was the
for
yeah.
of the movie, and that makes sense. That's cohesive. But for something like an actual non-small size related movie,
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Star
No,
Wars
Star Wars did
did-
good advertising.
Yeah, they did a really
a
good
good
job.
job there, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Star Wars was amazing in that they didn't spoil the movie. Thank you, J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
Yeah.
For a
That's how
change.
you do a trailer.
Engaging and interesting, and yeah. But I've seen it for a lot of TV shows too, like
Yeah.
AMC. Like I think I'm pretty sure there was a Walking Dead.
I think Walking Dead does it.
yeah. where they
Well,
showed-
you see the like
And then they make
sneak-
you watch
see the
Talking
sneak
Dead.
peeks, and then yeah, okay. The
Marilyn Manson.
bits they show on Talking Dead are just fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like always are.
Stay tuned to the end of the episode so we can watch Rick's feet.
So we can watch Carl walk through the woods for 10 seconds.
Chicky
Don't wise
Jar
up
Jar.
and call me.
Dirty.
No, I wonder like what, because they're starting to do that now. I wonder what progression of advertising we'll get to in like.
I blame Vine. So what they probably would do is they probably Vine those things so that way people are like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, because they started posting like Twitter vines and stuff like that
Yeah.
for like trailers.
And since our culture is so ADHD that we can't listen to or watch something longer than 5 seconds, it makes sense to try to catch
Make them shorter and shorter,
to the
and
point
more of them.
where that you just see
To
like
the
a 5
point
second
where
clip
you
and that's
grow
interesting.
interest, right?
Yeah, you see it and you're like, oh, what was that? I'll look up the
And
full
it's
thing.
easy to share, easy to
I
spread.
don't think it's a good way to advertise, like, as like, oh, check this out for this later. Just drop them at the same time.
Yeah,
Drop it.
The teaser
Word of
and
mouth.
drop the
have
little
a teaser pointing
Yeah.
to the trailer.
yeah, or like have like the 5 second clips simultaneously. So you're like, oh, I wonder what that is, and like have it linked to
Yeah, and I don't think teasers need to be linked to the trailer. I think the teaser needs to be the teaser of the movie, and then have the trailer explain more of the story.
Well, yeah, the teaser should just show general ideas,
Yeah,
but never
to kind of like pull you into the world, but not
spoil anything.
spoil anything. I mean, we did an episode about it.
Where they spoil fucking
Yeah.
movies in the trailers.
It's like post-credit scenes that Marvel's been doing.
But those are
Very early
brilliant.
teasers.
Those are teasers, but they're more than teasers. They're hooks.
Yeah.
They get you interested.
And it's about one major component of the movie that nobody knew up to that point, like a character being introduced, or
Well, it's usually like, it's particularly the first round was all like building the Avengers, so it was just like you'd see Ross.
you see
and-
Nick Fury approach Captain America.
Yeah,
I think that was one of them.
that was one of them, and Iron Man.
Yeah, at the bar.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, with the Hulk.
when they were building up to the Avengers, that was brilliant. That
Yeah.
whole arc of movies.
Oh, that was
Phase
Phase
1
one was-
really, yeah.
fucking great. Phase 2, it was all right. Or like the post-credit scenes were
Winter
fun.
Soldier was good, and
Yeah, Winter Soldier was great, and then they had Guardians of the Galaxy.
What was the post-credit scene on that?
for Guardians.
Guardians?
Oh, that was Howard the Duck. They had
No. Well,
yeah,
yes, but it's because they show now instead of waiting till the end of the movie to show the like important like hooks,
yeah.
they put it right before the credits.
Yeah, so they can
Um,
show two different
yeah,
things.
exactly. So the
So you
last
have a
one
fun
is
one.
always a joke one, right?
Yeah.
And they started that with the Avengers with the shawarma scene.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
true.
So the at the end of Guardians, no, is there one? No,
Guardians.
It literally just says Guardians will be
no,
back.
Guardians had isn't that Thanos? I'll do it myself.
No, that was Ant-Man.
No, Ant-Man was Wasp. The trailer for the Wasp. So the girl.
And didn't Ant-Man end with something?
No, well,
teasing
that was
Civil
that
War?
was that was Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron ends with Thanos going.
Oh,
"Fine,
do
I'll
it myself. That you're right.
And
Yeah,
Ant-Man
actually,
ends
you're,
with a
you're right.
teaser
Yeah.
for Civil War, right?
Yeah.
Where they call up Ant-Man,
And it's like Bucky Barnes. No, it's
No.
them standing in front of Bucky
It's
Barnes.
it's the Civil
and
War.
then they say, "I've
Do you know?
got
I've got a guy.
I've got a guy."
Yeah.
And that made sense because Falcon was in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
And he got his ass kicked.
That was good.
Can't tell you about that.
It was a good crossover.
I'm excited to see how Suicide Squad crosses over with Batman.
Poorly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they'll introduce the Joker probably in Batman.
Well, they have Batman in Suicide Squad as well.
Oh
Right?
yeah,
he shows
yeah,
up.
There's a chase
Yeah.
scene or something.
I
don't
think
know.
it's going to be very short though.
Yeah, it'll probably
It might even
be.
be like at the beginning.
It'll probably be at the beginning of the movie, or maybe at the end.
I could see it being at the very end and him showing up and just being like, "All right, I'm gonna let you go" or something like that because they'll figure some way to incorporate it
Yeah.
to stop because they're bad guys. They're on the loose. They're just rampaging, right?
It's gonna be weird seeing this like punky like juggalo version of the Joker transfer into more serious
Well,
Batman versus Superman.
Lex Luthor, man, Lex Luthor's kid.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so
Fucking
it's already
stupid.
fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
we already talked about that too. It's all
We'll see how they can twist it,
I
but
still have hope that the Joker Jared Leto's playing isn't the Joker. I hope it's a Joker, but not the Joker.
Yeah.
I hope it's like
that'd be badass.
it's Jason Todd, who's been like fucked up.
Who would make a good the
Well,
Joker?
there's a nod to the Killing Joke in the trailer of Suicide Squad, where the Joker jumps into the pool
Yeah,
where he got
his fate,
His
everything
face,
turned into and
to
he
save
tips
Harley. Yeah. And I think that's at that point that's when Harley truly becomes
Harley Quinzel, as opposed to
Yeah.
Dr. Harley.
Yeah.
I don't
Those movies are going to be dark, and I'm surprised they're not like, and they're trying to keep it PG-13, and
I'm surprised Suicide Squad would be PG-13. That movie should be R.
It's because they're
villains.
Like, good on them for not taking suicide out of the title. Because I would have assumed a lot of people would have thought of taking that.
Yeah, I hope they still make it pretty dark and edgy. They can do that without making it R.
Yeah, and that's kind of like when they had announced a Deadpool movie, maybe PG-13. I was heartbroken, but I wasn't super heartbroken because there's ways of doing that where you could be meta and like laugh at the fact that you're PG-13.
There's other aspects of the character, right? So.
Yeah, but that petition is not going through.
Of course it's not. Why would it go
fucking
through?
stupid.
Who would support that in a bajillion years? Fuck that noise.
Yeah, that's true, but I guess one of my concerns is like if Deadpool is rated R and it doesn't do that well, what happens next for the sequels? Like, do they bring it down to PG-13?
Well, or they just don't make Deadpool for
Yeah.
a long time. Look at Fantastic Four. It was PG-13.
I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be like Fantastic Four level of disappointment.
No, I can't see it being.
Especially for sales. No one went to go see Fantastic Four, so not only was the movie shit.
And that was a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
But it was competing with good movies, and the ad campaign made it generic as fuck. Deadpool stands out as a movie.
I was just so excited because I had read an article that they were gonna like David Cronenberg it up and like start doing like some body horror with their transformations, which was like a kind of cool, unique way.
Isn't that what the director originally wanted?
That's originally what he wanted.
And
He wanted it to be a little bit more of a horror.
Studio fucked him hard.
Yeah.
He actually like disavows the movie. He's after it before it even came out in theaters. He was like, I hate it. I hate what they did because they ruined his movie.
Yeah.
They don't. It's.
But
hard.
you could tell like during the filming of the movie that none of the actors were fucking into it.
They were getting paid. It's a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's too bad, though.
Who wants to be in a non-actual Marvel movie? Like, really, especially after the previous Fantastic Fours?
I think the more artsy people of the crowd like kind of took on what Robert oh god.
Who?
Tony Stark.
Robert Downey
Thank
Jr.
you, Robert Downey Jr. Had said about how he didn't want him to just be known for Iron Man. And then at one point he was just like, fuck it, I am Iron Man.
Yeah, I think that's why there were hesitations there. They weren't even going to have him in a large role in Civil War.
Especially, like, yeah.
Wow, if you look at the end of Iron Man 3,
yeah, where he's
pretty much the end of that arc.
But, yeah.
But then they brought him back for Avengers Age of
Because
Ultron.
money.
Yeah, and...
Well, they need to tie him... Yeah.
And then all those robots that he destroyed in Iron Man 3, there's many, many more now acting as protection robots.
He didn't learn the first time.
Or any of the times. For a genius, he's not very smart.
My question is, for superhero movies, for, like, to entice big actors to do it, does the rating have a big play in that as well?
Well, rating dictates how much they're going to get paid, how much the movie's going to make, right?
Yeah.
If your rating is R, you're cutting off a lot of your crowd.
I think Ryan Reynolds very much wanted to do Deadpool for himself, and he felt like he got kind of screwed with the last superhero movies he'd done.
All the superhero movies he'd done prior were trash. That's actually really heartbreaking for the guy, because I think he really does...
He's a great actor. Hasn't picked the best movies.
He got fucked by the script and by the studios, right?
That's true.
DC blows. DC can only do Batman. Until they show me a movie that they do really, really well that isn't Batman, or stylized like Batman, Man of Steel, as far as I'm concerned, they can't make a good movie that's not Batman.
So what superhero movies would you like to see that are rated R?
I don't want another Blade.
Spider-Man. What?
Yeah.
No.
I definitely think that Guillermo del Toro does need to return to the Blade series.
I think he only did the second one.
He only did the second one.
But it was great.
The second one was my favorite one.
Because you can tell that he was in it with the visual style and everything that he does. It's so cool.
I think I mentioned before, Doctor Strange would be very interesting.
Yeah.
If it was done like a horror or
Well, it's directed by the guy who did Sinister.
which may or may not be good. Actually, Sinister was a good movie. And
Well
that
directed.
it got screwed over by the studio.
Screwed over by studio, and also story was a little.
Yeah, the writing was.
Yeah.
But he did the best he could. Like what he did with the 8mm tracks was creepy as fuck.
But I think like the one thing I will give Marvel props for is that they take like directors who have like a lot of potential, and then like put them on tracks, and then they help them guide through making their.
Unless
movie,
they're
right?
too forceful with it, like they were with Edgar Wright.
Yeah, exactly. But Edgar Wright, I think, just naturally wouldn't be okay with being put on tracks.
I think he likes having his creative freedom.
Yeah.
I don't understand how much creative control they would have taken from him, except that they have to shoehorn in Marvel continuity.
It was probably personal disagreements or something.
Yeah.
And they just say it's creative differences.
How many?
Because you don't want it to be too crazy, like with the cuts and stuff like that. They want it to be pretty much uniform to all their other movies.
It
right?
has to
Edgar
conform
Wright-
to their standards.
Yeah.
But that said, they're all genre movies, and genre movies are filmed differently per genre movie.
Yeah.
It needs to
But
feel
style.
different.
Style-wise.
You know, one R-rated movie that we didn't really touch on was The Wolverine. That was R, right?
That was R, and then they made an unrated version, which was slightly longer. And
That was
better.
one. That was
Was it
probably the
rated?
last R-rated. superhero movie.
I don't think it was R-rated when it came out in theaters.
No, not at all. There
But
was
the Wolverine on Blu-ray is R-rated.
Yeah, that's
Is it?
yeah.
They
that's right.
took all the blood out of the movie in theaters when we saw it,
That's right.
and
okay.
they got rid of a lot of the scenes that were like actually like him cutting people. In the unrated version, you watch him chop motherfuckers in half.
Okay, now there's an example of a movie that got fucked over
In theaters. So
because the
it's
R-rating version was
the
brilliant.
exact
I need to watch
opposite.
that version.
I have it
You
upstairs.
didn't-
Okay,
didn't see
no,
it?
I haven't seen it.
It's the exact
It's-
opposite of the
it's
Deadpool
gory
thing
and
that's-
awesome.
they wanted to do. It's still not amazing. I don't think it still
No,
has.
it
They
has its
screwed
faults,
over
for
like
sure.
that Silver Samurai. And
Yeah, they still did some fuck ups with it,
Oh,
but it's
got
certainly a
some
lot
serious
better.
Plot errors.
Plot errors, and it drags for a bunch of the movie still. Like I said, you actually get to see him cut motherfuckers, and
Yeah.
that's Wolverine.
That was what I was
That's
going
right.
to bring up, is that I was like, oh man, an X-Men rated R would be awesome, because Wolverine. And then I was like, wait a second. Didn't
Yeah,
I see that?
you did, and yeah, no, they neutered that when they put that in theaters, and
And
they're not
yeah,
doing
I
it
think
there.
that's one where they, at the beginning, they thought they could do it, and then they realized, no, we can't appeal to that enough. There's not enough of a demographic.
I mean, they did do that with the other Marvel movies in a sense, because Wolverine, what does he do? He cuts people, but you don't really.
They make it look stupid in the
well,
other movies.
Wolverine Origins was trash too, and that wasn't R.
yeah, I haven't actually watched that movie.
I would watch that to riff track it as well.
Okay.
You can add that to the fucking movies.
Yeah,
I hate
because that is a
right now.
movie I did not see
You're
in
not missing
theaters
out.
because I thought the advertising was fucking retarded.
There's
That's
this
not
train.
next to
There's
retarded
this
people.
train scene that's really
Sorry,
fucking
I mean-
ridiculously stupid.
Oh, in the Wolverine or
Yeah,
Wolverine
in
Origins?
the Wolverine.
Wolverine Origins. I
Yeah.
was stoked for the Wolverine.
I wasn't too stoked because of the train scene. The train scene in the trailer it looked so shitty, and then watching it in theaters, it also looked shitty.
It looked pretty shitty.
Is that the one where?
It was like a bullet train. I mean, how do you
And then
how do you make
like,
that
he
look
Tom Cruises
good?
it.
He like
Yeah.
he lets go and he like flies at the guy and he like it just
looked really bad.
looked really trash. That whole thing should have been cut. It was just garbage.
Also, after watching not Ghost Protocol,
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation, I think Rogue Nation came out before Spectre.
It was pretty close.
Exact same fucking movie.
Except Rogue
Pretty
Nation's
much to
way
a T.
better.
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. It's about a corporation hidden behind the shadows that make events happen around the world in order to control where society goes, right? And that's exactly what fucking Spectre does.
Yes and no, except yeah. I don't know. I just think Rogue Nation
Similar, I
was way better.
suppose.
Spectre was such a disappointment for me after Skyfall.
I'll have to rewatch Spectre.
And you need to watch the Mission Impossible movie Sans 2. 2's fucking dog shit.
Well, I may as well watch them all.
Well, yeah, but you have to get ready for me to
Comic Sans too.
Huh?
That was a font joke.
Don't make those.
Don't make font jokes in a
Unless
podcast.
it's the Times New Roman joke. Other than that, get out.
I'm actually a Calibri person myself. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into wingdings.
As long as someone can't understand what you're typing, it's hilarious. So you haven't seen Wolverine Origins. How did you get away from like not seeing that?
Yeah,
All
that's
my
pretty
friends were like, "It's a
ridiculous.
comic book movie."
I saw the trailer for it,
So,
heard things about it, and was just like, no, I don't want to see that.
do you know anything about Gambit?
Oh, I love Gambit.
And he's how he's a
well then.
Cajun
And that's
badass.
another reason
Pretty-
why I didn't go see it.
He's
Because I
Cajun.
know he fucking ruined Gambit.
They just
Ooh.
didn't really
I-
use it.
I don't know how I
No,
feel
he
about
wasn't even
Channing
Gambit.
Tatum being Gambit.
As long as he can pull that perfect Cajun drawl, I'm okay with it. That's the character. He didn't have that. That's his signature. Like he talks a
Well, he
certain
was
way,
barely even in the fucking movie.
and he was trash in it.
Yeah.
When he was there, he was in it for no reason except to be like, "Oh, here's another."
But
mutant."
he brought us brilliant chopping ladder sequence.
Oh, that is my
What?
release.
What?
Okay, the chopping ladder sequence is a fire escape. It's on par
Bad.
with Super Mario Legolas. On par. Think
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
they're one and the same.
They're the same. Think about that.
Let me guess. Somebody is climbing up a ladder,
No.
and then Wolverine's just chopping it at the bottom.
He's
Yeah.
standing on top, and it's coming down. But he's not climbing. Like he's
Oh,
just.
okay.
But Wolverine's just slashing through
It's
the air,
just slashing the
and you can
the
obviously
ladder, and
tell.
it goes down.
Oh, it just
Oh.
looks so bad.
There are scenes in the movie where Wolverine is like in the washroom and he's like looking at himself in the mirror with his claws up, but the claws are clearly CGI, and they just should have used practical
The part where
effects.
he's like scraping them together.
And it looks so bad.
It's so fucking awful.
It looks better in X-Men 1.
Okay, let's hold on. Let's
Yeah.
hold off on bashing this until we see it.
Oh, it'll be a good
Because
review.
I have, like I
have-
said, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you're
So much-
missing out on such
I
bad
will
shit.
say, I think my favorite scene from X-Men 3 was the Nightcrawler scene
Oh, at the beginning?
in the White House.
Oh.
Is that in 3
That was,
or
that was
two.
two.
That was
That's
two.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Two.
That's two.
Yeah, he isn't in the third one because of reasons. It's just explained in the video game,
Okay.
but the real reasons are the guy didn't want to re-sign the contract.
Yeah. After seeing 2, he's probably like, nah.
No, two
Or
was,
2 was good.
2 was good.
Okay.
2 was good because 2 was about the Weapon X.
Although
Yeah,
if you had to
And
wear
2
makeup
also
like
had
that,
Nightcrab.
would you want to redo it?
That's a little bit much.
It's pretty crazy.
I'm glad that they put the makeup on as opposed to CGIing his ass.
Yeah.
That would look like trash.
They should do a Nightcrawler movie.
It could be interesting.
Starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
And then he's just staring into
And he goes around filming accidents.
Looking really tired.
I hate so much the things you choose.
And
I haven't seen that movie.
And he's got a man bun.
It's an alright movie. It's good.
No,
He's
I
got a
like
man bun.
He's got a man bun.
He's kind of a scumbag. And when I say kind of, I mean he's a
That's
scumbag.
too bad. I like Jake Gyllenhaal
Oh, it's good.
as an actor.
Oh no, it's a good movie.
Having a man bun, I mean, yeah, it makes him a shitty person, but it's just for the movie.
No, he's just a
That's
shitty
too
person
bad.
in that movie.
It's too bad he had a man bun. Now I can't see it.
That's actually probably a good way to dictate what movies you can and cannot see.
Johnny, you should go suck a fuck.
Well, he will.
Have you guys ever seen Brothers with Jake Gyllenhaal and Tobey Maguire
Oh, that's
and Natalie Portman?
Oh, is that the one where he like comes back from war and just like
Finds out his brother was fucking his wife
Yeah.
because his brother was a
While,
milkman.
while you're out fighting the war.
Your brother's fucking your wife.
Yeah, no, it's Pearl Harbor. Was that also Pearl Harbor?
That was a movie,
And by brother, do you mean relative or like what?
Huh?
What are you getting at?
I was talking about the movie.
Are you special?
Yeah.
Did you have a stroke, Mark? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. We're just calling
Are you
911.
Kate Blanchett in The Aviator?
What do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm playing golf.
You bitch. Oh, also in my silent airplane.
Oscar, don't mind if I do.
Why do you get an Oscar and Leo doesn't? And do not give Leo the Oscar for fucking Revenant.
They'll make everybody who wants
Yeah,
Leo to
okay.
get an Oscar.
Sidebar. I know we reviewed The Revenant before, but after watching some Half in the Bag review it,
Red Letter Media.
yeah, they pointed out a great argument where they're like, well, if you're gonna give Leonardo DiCaprio an Oscar
for putting his
like,
body on the line.
putting his body on the line, you might as well give it to the entire cast of Jackass. I know it's different. Like, I mean, if you had, and we were talking about this a little bit more, we expanded on it. Imagine if we had cut Jackass in like stylized version and use natural lighting.
Well, they already use natural lighting.
Put
for the
them
most
in
part.
the Great White North.
Also, we want to take the Revenant and have it as Jackass. So Leonardo DiCaprio being like, "Well, this is me jumping over a cliff. Welcome to Jackass.
This is me hiding in a horse.
Welcome to Jackass.
I'm historically accurate figure Hugh Glass,
Welcome to Jackass.
and I'm gonna cauterize my wound with gunpowder.
Welcome to Jackass. This is me versus a bear. Bring it.
As long
That's
as
for
there's
correct.
as long as there's super long landscape shots
In a Jackass?
between for cuts.
And it's fucking Oscar
And
worthy.
super artsy shots of like water dripping.
And then it's got to be like when he does get wrecked, it's got to like just be on him being hurt for a long continuous shot for at least half an hour of him just being hurt. But a continuous shot, so it's impressive filmmaking. He did it in one take of being hurt.
Why do most Oscar movies just like pride on being slow as all fucking hell?
Because they have technical things
Character
about them.
development. Except there was none.
They're taking time in the scene to really appreciate the
Really
scene.
digging
He's
deep.
just laying there in the snow. He hasn't moved in the last 5 minutes.
Moaning.
But it's a single continuous shot under natural lighting. That's so impressive.
Fucking film, like, grab a camera right now and film me, and I'll be Oscar worthy.
No, this isn't natural lighting, dipshit.
All
and
right.
you're not getting mauled by a bear.
But you could be.
CGI bear.
We could do a real bear. Go to the zoo. I will film
Step
that.
it up. Step it up.
Just Mark getting wrecked by a bear
I'm gonna grab a whole bunch of wild game and shove it in my pockets.
and walk in. I'll film that. You may not live, but we'll make money off of you.
Come on, bro. I've seen bear wounds heal quickly. It's called The Revenant.
Yeah, man. He's essentially Wolverine by that point.
No, bears can smell fresh meat
I
from
wanna-
10 miles away. What are you thinking, Michael?
Do you think? Because Hugh Jackman said that he is stepping away from Wolverine. Do you
He's
think
one more movie.
Do you think we'll ever see a rated R Wolverine?
I would love the last one to be rated R, and around the story of
Old Man Logan.
Yeah,
That's what
Old
they-
Man Logan. I don't know if you've heard anything about that story, but
No, not really.
Isn't that how Logan dies in the comics?
yeah,
Well, I read The Death of Wolverine, but he's
It-
died a couple of times.
Yeah,
so.
but Old Man Logan is
It's
the
pretty-
story.
it's pretty gory and dark and really cool.
Recommend.
I'd like to read it because I was just reading about it. And it seemed
Wikipedia,
really interesting.
yeah.
So that would be a really good one. It'd be a good way to send him off.
I hope that they take a long ass time if they ever reintroduce Wolverine, just because Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. When you think of Wolverine now,
Yeah.
that's like he was so perfect for that role.
It's
That's
cool
like-
that they can have Deadpool in his movie.
Yeah,
Instead of a
Tobey
even
Maguire is Super Spider-Man.
well, Spider-Man, those rights might revert too.
they-
Not all the way, but
Yeah, I don't understand actually how that contract's working.
it's weird.
Is
huh?
it a rental
So
or
basically, they're like,
Different
we don't know
portrayal.
what to do with this property, so we're gonna give you rights to make films for this property
But
that
we'll
we
still make
own
money?
what you created, and we'll just call it a partnership and make money off of it.
well, at least they got over their differences.
Yeah, which I think they should just do that for all of the fucking movies.
Just give it to Marvel.
Give it all to them.
Or at least have that ability where X-Men can.
Well, it's too late for X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
1,000
it's-
too late.
They're making their own money. They're doing too well in their own universe.
Oh, and the Marvel universe can't just be like, oh, they're mutants now.
I'm excited
You can't
for
do that.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, no, they've built their whole universe,
And they have-
with the idea of
In-
excluding the X-Men.
And they have Inhumans to replace mutants. now.
Yeah.
So they cannot have mutants,
It's kind
unfortunately.
of sad though. We'll never see AVX.
What they hypothetically could do is have alternate universes,
Just like the comics did.
just like the comics.
when we'll just start over.
Yeah, eventually they're probably going to anyway.
Just call it a different adaptation. Start with new actors.
Like have the Ultimate Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe, or something like that. If they ever get the rights, they can do whatever they want.
yeah, really.
So we were talking a little bit about Batman versus Superman being overcrowded. How do you feel about like the 60-some characters that they're thinking of putting into like Infinity War?
We'll see how it goes, but how many characters? How many named major characters do we have so far that could be in it right now? Like, we have Iron Man, Captain America,
We'd have to
Thor,
write them
like,
down. I wouldn't be able.
I
to
just-
tell
Hopefully
you.
they start killing some off.
well, they're going to be killing one off.
Oh, cool.
And
Quicksilver. Dead.
he's gone. You could have moved fast enough. He essentially Piccoloed in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should probably just grabbed him. Oh, I still have time. Hell, even now I can still. Oh!
You mean he like Superman and
Don't be Piccoloed.
in Man of Steel, where he could have saved Pocket.
And gotten back in time.
And
But then he
gotten
would have
back.
revealed himself. That was the dilemma.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Versus Piccolo, who clearly could have
And
saved both their
Quicksilver,
lives.
he's Quicksilver's not hiding anything anymore. But no one can see him anymore.
Hawkeye. I'm sorry, but Hawkeye should have died. It would have had much more emotional impact than killing the
Especially-
villain.
Especially since they showed his family.
Well, that's the thing. It was literally all just a way of like having that twist at the end for Quicksilver dying instead of him, because they build this whole like character development for Hawkeye, and in your mind you're like, something bad's gonna happen to him,
Something bad
And then-
should have happened.
something bad was about to happen to him, and then you're like, oh, this is where he dies, and then they flip that script and have
But that's not a flip, because who fucking cares if Quicksilver dies? Oh no, this villain! No, not the villain this 3/4 of the movie. Who's suddenly
In fact, it would have been cooler to see him have some sort of actual development. Quicksilver?
yeah, because he
could have been in Civil War.
was a really cool character in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, we'll see how. I wonder how much he'll be in the new X-Men movie, Apocalypse.
oh, he's in it.
Yeah.
Quite a
Oh yeah,
bit.
he's definitely
Yeah.
in it.
He's in it.
That's
Is it
getting
the
pretty
same
padded
actor?
too.
It's the same actor.
Because wasn't he like a teenager in Days of Future Past? Isn't it like
No,
the
it's
80s
because they
now?
go back in time, right?
It's like the 80s though, isn't it? Or 70s?
I don't fucking know the
Apocalypse
timeline.
is just carrying off where
Days of Future Past.
ended, but not like the very end when they jump back to.
No, I know, but isn't it like 10 years after or something like that? I thought it was the 80s
I don't know.
when they're doing, or 70s.
I don't know.
I think it was.
I
don't
think
think
it's around that time. Yeah. He's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's credited for it.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not as excited about that one at all. I love Apocalypse, and I really am afraid they're going to fuck it up. Apocalypse is one of my favorite villains of all time, and I'm super scared they're going to fuck it up.
I
So-
hope not.
I hope,
like the
I
X-Men
hope
franchise.
they eventually make him a cloud,
Or
so you can feel my pain.
He's already Ivan Ooze. So, oh no, I fucking love Galactus. Blow me. But I mean, I understand for Galactus. I understand them being afraid to make him look like Galactus. Galactus. When you just look at Galactus, if you didn't know anything about Galactus, he looked fucking stupid.
You'd be like, what the fuck? It's just a guy on a chair in
It's
space
really
that's
big.
really tall.
And then he like lands on Earth, and he just looks kind of dorky because he's got that stupid suit. But way better than fucking Cloud.
But like,
There had to be a better way to do it besides Cloud.
but now,
I'm sure
like,
there were
I
many
wonder,
others.
like, what's gonna happen after Thanos?
Thanos? Well, that's why I want Galactus to get back.
Mhm.
Because Galactus is such a big threat.
And then
Literally,
at the end of
big-
yeah,
big
and
threat.
then at the end of that, Galactus dies, and then you start realizing that he was keeping away the guard, or not the
The
Guardians,
darkness,
but the darkness,
whatever
or
the
whatever.
fuck it is, yeah.
And then they fight that in the next one.
And then they have Scarlet Witch, like everyone's dying, and then she resets the universe.
Exactly, and then you just start
Start
over
again.
again.
But they're definitely getting to the point where a lot of the superheroes they've developed are just like so meaningless because of how bad they are compared to everyone else.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, like Hawkeye and.
But they still have cool moments. And I think someone like Hawkeye.
But like, what are they gonna do against Galactus?
Well, they're going to be able to do nothing except provide emotional support. But it's cool to see moral support in battle. But that's it. Like in Avengers, at that point, it was still cool watching Hawkeye like nail those sick trick shots.
Oh
Like
yeah,
when
no,
he
I
like
think
blind shoots Loki and Loki catches it out of the air. That's fucking cool.
No, it's been good so far. It's just as they're going
Gonna get
pushing
outstripped?
further and further, and they're getting with more
Well, you need someone
super
to fight
alien
whatever
villains.
bullshit army that they invent for Thanos.
Yeah,
Like,
because that's
the
just
Skrull.
always armies.
That's true. There
Chitauri.
need to be ground troops.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I think that's an issue that I had with Age of Ultron, is that it was essentially exactly like the first Avengers in that there were a bunch of shitty, useless Ultrons that they killed.
Yeah.
That were essentially the Chitauri.
I did like
Yeah.
the like defend the castle scene where
They
they're
all
like, just-
come?
yeah,
Yeah, that was cool.
that was cool.
But
It was
it was a cool movie.
it was a movie that I enjoyed for it being what it is.
But I find that some of the oh my god was lost on me after seeing the first one.
Yeah.
I've seen it now, so it's nowhere near as amazing.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, that's it for us today, guys.
Join us next week for another podcast we'll be uploading every Monday.
We have all of our stuff on the YouTubes, the iTunes, and all that fun stuff. Check us out there, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
We'll be uploading every Monday.
I don't know if we've mentioned that yet in any of our podcasts.
By the way, we'll be uploading every Monday, except for today.
Today may be Tuesday, almost certainly at this point.
Yeah,
It's
at
super
this
fucking
point,
late.
probably. Sorry, guys.
All of
Technical
you, Craig.
difficulty.
Yeah, we had a technical difficulty with this particular recording, which was kind of hilarious because we turned into chipmunks for a brief period.
For no reason.
No reason.
For a second, I was scared my voice actually sounded like that.
You should be.
Untraceable issue, apparently.
Because it is currently fixed. Hopefully, it remains fixed for when this comes out. Although,
Go to playback again. Back to Chipmunks.
if it's back to chipmunks, we should put out that version as well because that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, no, I'd
We'll
be
put
down.
up
But we at least if we're not making our Monday deadline this week, we're releasing it this week, just like every other week. We'll be releasing another podcast.
But I guess until next time,
We're
going nowhere.